Oh, hi. I got a towel. Tell you all about this towel in a little bit. Welcome to the NightCap Live. I'm your host, Dan Dunn, coming to you from scenic, whatever this is, bar I've set up here in my palatial estate in Venice, California. Tonight on the show, it's exciting. We've got comedian Heidi Heaslet. Heidi created a show you might know on the E! Channel. I'm not going to give it away. Wait till we bring her on. Also, joining us is Andrew Holmes, who's the brand director for Goslings. You know about Goslings? Want me to tell you a little bit about Goslings? All right, I'll tell you a little bit about Goslings. Legend has it that in the spring of 1806, James Gosling, who was an intrepid wine and spirits merchant from England, he set sail for the New World on a chartered ship laden with all manner of fortified beverages. And I believe his plan was to set up shop in the Jamestown settlement. But Gosling never made it. After a 3-month harrowing adventure at sea, the boat charter ran out, and this penniless passenger was left with a choice. He could return to England, cargo and all, or put in at the nearest port. And he chose the latter option, and that 2 centuries and change later, his descendants still reside on the island of Bermuda. It's 22 square miles of gorgeous hilly terrain ringed with pink sand beaches and the balmy turquoise waters, the Sargasso Sea. I should work for them. I should really work for the tourism department in Bermuda, but I'll touch base with the Goslings on that. So more than likely, his plan back then was to sell off the alcohol in Bermuda and then make enough money to press on to America. But at some point, James Gosling must have went, shit, Bermuda's pretty awesome. I'm going to stay here. And that's what he did. So, look, the Gosling family business is alcohol. By the mid-1800s, James Gosling and his brother Ambrose were making a tidy living, selling a proprietary dark rum out of the barrel to British sailors. So in the early 20th century, the rum was being packaged in reclaimed champagne bottles that they sealed with black wax. Hence the name of the company's flagship rum, Black Seal. That's not Black Seal. That's another one. We'll get to that. So many years later, Malcolm Gosling Jr. took over the business, and his main interest was to create an export market for Goslings Rum. See, prior to 1980, you couldn't get Goslings anywhere except on the island of Bermuda, and you had to take it back with you, but he changed that. So now, and I guess one of the main drivers of the brand success is a drink that I'm sure you've heard of called the Dark and Stormy. It's an invigorating coalescence of Black Seal and ginger beer that is the official cocktail of Bermuda. I want to know what's the official bird of Bermuda. If somebody has that, can you hit me in the comments? I just want to know what the official bird of Bermuda is. But that's the official cocktail. In fact, in 1991, Goslings won a trademark that mandates that any drink called a Dark and Stormy has to be made with Black Seal rum. This is a move that ruffled a few feathers in the beverage industry outside of Bermuda, and I once asked Malcolm Gosling about that, and he said, look, we invented the drink. We named the drink, and we popularized the drink. He didn't say that. So other rum producers were trying to use the name, and Goslings didn't think that was right. They wanted to make sure that if someone asked for a Dark and Stormy, they were getting the drink as it was originally conceived on Bermuda. That is Gosling's Black Seal and ginger beer. I'm drinking a variation of that right now. What if I just chug this thing for like 3 minutes? What's that? Oh, director saying I should keep going. We'll talk about that variation. I think it's got a different name. I can't remember what it is. So it's been 214 years since James Gosling got waylaid on the way to America. And the company he started is still 100% family owned, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I think it is, going strong. And I'm looking forward to talking to Andrew Holmes in just a little bit to get his thoughts on the secret to the brand's staggering success. But first, as always, I want to invite you to check out my podcast. It's called What We're Drinking with Dan Dunn, and it is available wherever podcasts stream. That's right, anywhere. We just had Jason Aldean on this week. Country superstar, Emmy winner Pili Montilla is on. And then coming up on Monday, NFL Hall of Famer Charles Woodson, who's also a vintner, makes some wine called Intercept. Get where that's they throw it, you pick it off. It's called interception. Intercept is. Where was I? That's right. Questions and comments. You got a chat box somewhere. I think it's to the left. That way, type it in. Anything you want to say to me, Heidi, Andrew. We're going to get to it. We will get to it throughout the course of this show. I want to talk to you. We all do. We're lonely. I'm lonely by myself. Dog's over there, though. We're doing a giveaway tonight. Two prizes. As always, we're giving away Flaviar membership. Flaviar is the reason we're here. Flaviar is a membership club that you join up every quarter. You get a box that has highly allocated bottles of spirit, stuff you can't find anywhere else. There's also events. I'm hosting a bunch of things like private things and cool stuff that Flaviar is doing. I am screwing up the messaging right now, but what I'm telling you is Flaviar is the place to be. If you're going to be a member of any club, it's this one, Flaviar. I'm a member. I want you to be there with me. And we're also going to give away a bottle of the Goslings Family Reserve Old Rum. That's this one that I'm drinking right there. We're going to be giving away that and a Flaviar membership. Now, how do you win it? Well, you may have heard last night during the debate, a fly landed on Vice President Mike Pence's head, and it stayed there for a good portion of the debate. Just hung out. That fly is now famous. This is the most famous fly since Jeff Goldblum. And I was thinking that tonight's prize winner could be this. I want you to name the 3 top famous insects from a film. I guess TV too. We can throw TV in, but try to focus on film. 3 famous insects. And Heidi and Andrew and I are going to choose the winner at the end. And then the other one will be this, since we're giving away 2 prizes. The best one-liner. There was so many funny memes on the show or last night about the Pence and the debate. So many funny memes. So the best one-liner about the fly on Pence's head. Send it in. Keep it short, sweet. One-liner, funny one. I saw a bunch. I'm not going to give any away though. No freebies here. Okay. All right. What do we do now? Oh, that's right. This is the part where I have another sip. All right. It's time to get to our first guest, comedian, and she is the executive producer and host of the funny dance show on E. And I'm can't wait because I love dancing and I love funny. Please welcome to the NightCap Live, Heidi Heaslet. Heidi, how are you? You got to unmute.
No, I was on mute. I was being respectful, and then I.
That's all right. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good to see you. You're looking vibrant and well.
Oh,
in this
Thank
pandemic.
You.
Look at you.
I had to do a little something for you because people was gonna be here, so I had to like a little something. I don't wake up like this.
All right. Well, it's good to have you on. So I spent the day immersed watching the videos today of the funny dance show. So tell us a little bit about where that started, the origin of it, and how it ended up going from a comedy club to E.
Well, that is so kind of you to watch the videos because it did premiere the week of the pandemic.
Great time to drop. It actually, All right, I hate to say this, but it really was because people don't have anything to do except watch TV.
No, but you know what? It dropped that first week when we were all like I guess we're all sort of still scared. I think we're all confused at this point, but I think people were just, the week of may have not been the best time just because it was a brand new show. And yes, I am one of the executive producers on the show. I created it with Justine Marino at the Comedy Store in LA. It was really, I like to say that we had a one-night stand and got pregnant with this baby of a show because we we didn't think people were going to love comedy and dance so much together. We thought we just loved comedy and dance. So we ran it as a live show at the Comedy Store monthly.
And by the way, just so everybody knows out there, the Comedy Store, if you haven't heard, is on the Sunset Strip here in Hollywood. It's certainly the most famous venue in Los Angeles. Mike Binder just did a documentary that I watched on Showtime about. It's staggering the careers that were launched at the Comedy Store. David Letterman, Jay Leno, Jim Carrey. Mitzi Shore owned the late Mitzi Shore owned the Comedy Store, and I gotta ask you, Heidi. So one of the things that happens at the Heidi Store, someday at the Comedy Store, is you gotta work. Okay, you gotta work the door. You gotta work the. Did you ever have to do any of that stuff?
I actually am not a series regular at the Comedy Store, so I never worked the door. I worked a lot of the other shows just as a comedian. Like the Crack 'em Up Thursday, like the open mics. And Justine and I met that way just through some of the other shows. And so I never got the honor of working the door. However, when I moved to LA, I actually didn't drink, so that's changed. I was young.
LA will drive you to drink. That's for sure. Yeah.
As long as you don't drink and drive. It'll drive you to drink, but don't drink and drive.
Don't drink and drive. Good point.
I got you. Anyways, I started just hanging around comedy clubs and watching comedy because I loved it. Like it felt like honest conversation. And I was like, I love this. And then I did comedy a couple times and then I stopped and I went behind the camera. And then actually Ian Edwards pushed me to jump back into comedy. He was like, no, you funny. You got to get back out there. So I started jumping back in front of the camera again. So I've kind of been slowly building both of my careers in front and behind. And I was on a dance squad called the LA City Municipal Dance Squad, which is kind of like if the Laker girls are tongue in cheek. So Justine was like, I want to create a comedy dance show with you. How do we do this? And we made a format. We tested out the walls at various comedy stores. Like, no, you can't work on this one. We got to go with the belly room in the Comedy Store, which is really special because the belly room is actually meant to develop female comedians. So I always felt like we had this like spirit of female comedians of female comedians past watching over us and guiding the show. And Coach T was our DJ, and people just kept coming. And then we got offers, and we took one of them, and it ended up on air.
Fantastic. It's funny you mentioned developing female comedians. I tuned into Saturday Night Live the other night, the first episode back in about 4 months, and I saw, they got a couple new cast members, and it's like featuring Punky Johnson, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, wait a minute. So last year I was at the Comedy Store and I was in backstage and Punky Johnson was bartending. So, that's what I'm saying about how you had to work there. And now she's on Saturday Night Live. So I think it's amazing, that kind of story, and a story like yours where you go up and you do that. And next thing you know, you got this great show on E! It's a lot of fun. I was watching a clip with Ron Funches, who's a very, very funny comedian. Wow. And Ron was doing a mashup dance to Barbara Ann by the Beach Boys and what was it, Brick House by the Commodores. And he was into it.
He did it. He did that thing. Like,
he went for it. Yeah.
He was really incredible with this show. Choreographers. At first, I thought that choreographers, because I know a lot of dancers. I just always have. Back because I thought I was a dancer. I just love to dance. But I'm a bar dancer, like at a dive bar, like you'll see me dancing on a table, not like a traditional dancer. But a lot of choreographers I know really loved the show. So the dance community got really involved. And we had like Chris Grant, who is Beyonce's choreographer. We have Brian Friedman, who is Britney Spears' choreographer. We had Kat Burns from like Emmy-winning Kat Burns from Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, all helping these comedians learn to dance, but with funny terms.
How many episodes did you do?
We did 8 episodes.
Are you going to do more, or has COVID sort of screwed everything up right now?
They haven't told us no, but I have a sneaking suspicion touching and sweating each other is not at the top priority for everybody on show.
By the way, I was in E! and I worked at E!
Yeah?
Back in the day, yes, I was a writer on Talk Soup.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
Yes, on the E on Wilshire Boulevard. I don't know if they're still down there, but that's where we were. And Aisha Tyler was our host when I was there. And
Yes.
yeah, so much fun. But
It's
E.
funny,
E.
Mike, too, in the documentary, he was one of the first people who like gave me a job even as a comedian for some
Is this
app.
Mike Binder, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't heard his I haven't talked to him in like years, but I have to watch the documentary.
Yeah, Mike Binder was a big comedian, and he had that show, The Mind of the Married Man, for a while, and he's the voice of, I think, Honda or one of the you'd know his voice. He was doing car commercials for years, but a very funny guy. But it's a great documentary. I believe it's on Showtime, and it's about the Comedy Store, and the history is amazing. He gets into, and the first big comedian at the Comedy Store was Freddie Prinze. Freddie Prinze and Jimmy Walker. They were the two marquee guys when it opened. Jimmy JJ Walker from Good Times and Freddie Prinze were the two guys that were the marquee guys when it started. So, and now all these years later, you've used it as a springboard.
Yes, I did use it as a springboard. I'm very, very, very happy that he gave us that executive producer credit, because I've really been trying to build my resume both in front and behind the camera. And I worked a lot in commercials and production. So to have the network TV credit and really learn that, as you know, every format is a different art form. So I'm very grateful to E for giving me that and giving me the springboard. I'm very grateful to the Comedy Store for allowing us into space. And yeah.
By the way, I want to just remind everybody, questions, comments, put them in the comment box, send them off to us. Heidi and I will get to them. Somebody wrote in and said the bird of Bermuda is the Bermuda petrel, Petrel. It could be made up. They could be completely making that up, but I'm going to go with it. And speaking of Bermuda, I think it's time to get somebody on here who knows a little something about rum. Yes. I got mine, but I want to get into some more of this rum. And are you ready for Andrew, Heidi? Are you ready?
I need to know about rum. I need to know a lot more.
Let's bring him on. He is the, I don't know what he is, CEO, president, something, global. No, he's a brand ambassador, I believe, something. He'll tell us his title. He's a guy that hangs out in a room full of barrels, okay? And that's a guy like that is a man you can trust. Bring him on, Andrew Holmes. Andrew.
Cheers. Greetings, everyone. Welcome.
Look at this setup you got, man. Where are you right now? Look at this. It's the coolest room I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, it's actually a virtual backdrop. No, no, this is the deal. We're here in our production facility in the city of Hamilton, Bermuda.
Wow, that's a good looking production facility. Is there actual liquid in those barrels?
Oh, there certainly is. Yeah. I wish you guys could smell the room that I'm standing in here right now. It's incredible.
Yeah, I bet. It's such a barrel rooms are always my favorite when I go to distilleries or wineries as well. It's just that wood and the liquid. Oh, it's the best. So, Andrew, are you from Bermuda?
Yeah, very fortunate. Born and raised here on the island. There's not many of us. There's only 60,000 residents here in Bermuda. So it's a small island in the middle of the Atlantic, and we love drinking rum.
Yeah, I'm going to be there this summer. I have tickets for the Fire Festival. That's still happening?
Yeah, 2021 is happening.
Too soon? Yeah. Too soon? Should I not bring that up? No, that's another documentary. So you're born and raised there. How'd you get into the rum business?
Well, it's all about who you know, as I'm sure you guys are aware. But there's no post-secondary education here in Bermuda. So if you want to go away, if you want to get an education, you got to go away to school. So I was actually away in school in Canada, and I met Malcolm Gosling, who's the president and CEO of Goslings International and the 7th generation of the Gosling family. And at the time, I was studying in Canada, and I used to carry as much rum as I could physically carry from Bermuda to Canada and make rum swizzle for all my friends at university. So at the time, there was no distribution of Goslings in Canada, and I said to Malcolm, I was like, I know you're starting to get into America. Like, what are you going to do about Canada? And he's like, I don't even know. He was a one-man show at that point, and really focused on building distribution in America. So I actually worked with him and a Canadian distributor to introduce the brands there in 2002, literally immediately after I graduated from university. So I've been with the family business ever since, and I'm very proud to be working.
So when it came to the U.S., though, how many years earlier than that?
1980 was when they first began shipping from Bermuda to the east coast of the U.S., and now we're available in all 50 states. But the first 20-foot container that shipped from the island, it took quite a while for them to sell, whereas now the distribution is global.
Is Goslings the only rum on Bermuda?
Yeah, we are the only rum here in Bermuda.
Are you the only spirit in Bermuda? Probably, I guess, right?
Yeah.
It's a small island. Yeah.
Rum is all we make in Bermuda. Rum and babies. Everything else we have to import.
So let's talk. I touched on it in the intro. Let's talk a little bit about the Dark and Stormy. I mean, this is the drink that put Goslings on the map.
Exactly.
Literally put them on the map in the United States, for sure.
Yeah. You did a really good job of that intro, Dan. I was pretty impressed, man. If you want to make a call to Bermuda tourism, I mean, anytime.
Right. I think there's something for me there.
Yeah.
I got my linen shirt I can wear to, we're going this way now, everyone. Come on.
Hilarious.
I would last about 5 minutes. There'd be one straggler, and I'd be like, "Get over here."
Yeah.
No, I'm from Philly, man. We don't have the temperament to be tour guides. But yeah.
I hear you. Yeah.
Anyway, Dark and Stormy. So let's hear a little bit about this drink.
So as you mentioned, it is actually our national drink in Bermuda, and it was one of our former premiers that declared Dark and Stormy our national drink. So it's actually made with 2 ingredients. Our flagship rum, Goslings Black Seal Rum, and then ginger beer. So ginger beer is actually a British tradition, and it was introduced to the island by the British Navy. Yes, there we go. Goslings Stormy ginger beer. So ginger beer was introduced here by the British. They began producing ginger beer up in the west end of the island at the Royal Naval Dockyard, where they had all their reprovisioning and ship repair and things like that. And they introduced the ginger beer to the Bermudian population, and it didn't take long for the locals to figure out what the ginger beer was missing. A little bit of Black Seal Rum. So the name Dark and Stormy was given to it as a nickname. There's no one individual that's credited with calling it Dark and Stormy. Bermudians are huge on nicknames here. Everyone's got a nickname. So the Dark and Stormy got its name from the way the drink is prepared. So I think I should just go ahead and show you guys that. So it's a 5-step process to make the drink. We've got our barrel mugs here. Going to add some ice in that.
Heidi and I are here for the visual aids.
Yeah.
Yes. By the way, this is a real. I love this glass.
I have the glass, but I grabbed a different glass.
It's okay. As long as you got a glass, that's all that matters. We don't want to see you drinking out of the bottle yet, Heidi, all right?
I have a towel, too. Look at this. I got a towel.
Oh, the towel. Yeah, that's good. We call that a rag in Bermuda, right? So it's so hot and humid down here. You always got to have your rag with you to wipe your brow. Yeah, just like that.
Oh, that's not, but then I'm going to wipe my brows off. I do a lot of work on these. You know what I'm saying?
Great, Heidi. So our ginger beer, we actually have regular, and we also have a diet version of ginger beer, which is my boss Malcolm's favorite. So we nicknamed this one, it's not called Dark and Stormy. We call that Dark and Skinny when you're making with the diet ginger beer. This is available all over the U.S. as well. So we're going to start by, we got our glass with ice, and then we're going to add some ginger beer into the glass. And normally when you make a highball, you add, the spirit, then the chaser. But in this case, the chaser first, and then we're going to go ahead and add the rum right on top of that. And when you float the rum, it sits right on top of that ginger beer and looks like a storm cloud. So that's where the name Dark and Stormy came from. And we also have a well-known fact here in Bermuda: the more dark and stormies you drink, the better the weather gets. Okay, so that's why it's always beautiful and bright and sunny down here, and everyone is so friendly because they're all feeling nice.
I mean, I've had half of one of these, and I'm feeling pretty good. Now, I did mine. You were saying that there was a different name, Andrew. I did it with the old rum, the Family Reserve. What do you call that one?
the perfect storm. Mixing it with our luxurious old rum. I mean, most Bermudians save old rum for very special occasions. Birthdays, graduations, anniversaries, divorces, anything you really want to celebrate, we'll grab a bottle of old rum. But mixing it with ginger beer, yeah, that's okay. Most Bermudians like to drink it straight up.
Now the Black Seal, the original, the one that's done it. I mean, that's aged in ex-bourbon casks, right?
Yeah, all the rum that we age are in once used American oak barrels. Yeah, and that's where this beautiful color in the rum comes from. When we receive the once used bourbon barrels, they're recharred. So that caramelizes all the sugar left from the bourbon, the natural sugars right in the grain of the oak, and it helps to give that rum that beautiful dark color and a lot of its aroma and flavor as well.
Now, let me ask you, we know the dark and stormy. Do you recommend using the Black Seal in other cocktails as well?
Well, see, that's what I think a lot of people that aren't necessarily familiar with black rum are a little intimidated as to what to mix it with. I mean, everyone knows it goes great with Coke, and everyone's learning that it's incredible with ginger beer, but it's a very versatile spirit. So I'll give you an example. One of my first business trips for Goslings was to Newfoundland, Canada, okay? And they're all drinking a cocktail called the Caesar, which is like Canadians' version of a Bloody Mary with vodka, clamato, which is clam and tomato juice, and then spiced with, Worcester and celery salt on the rim. So this is my first trip representing Goslings, and, I don't even like vodka. So I was like, okay, well, everyone's drinking Caesars. So I said to the bartender, I was like, could I get a Caesar, but substitute the vodka for the Black Seal rum? So he looked at me like I was crazy, made the drink, and then he dipped a straw and tasted it before he slid it over the bar, and he nicknamed it the Seal Caesar. Next thing you know, the entire bar was ordering these Seal Caesars, and it's on their menu to date. So they have their classic Caesar made with vodka and the Seal Caesar made with Gosling's Black Seal rum. But the reality is, when you make a Bloody Mary with vodka, you're not tasting the vodka. You got the spiciness and acidity, whereas the rich, full flavor of Black Seal, that molasses, that oak, that little bit of sweetness is a really nice contrast to the acidity and spiciness of the drink. So that's just a wild example of how, rum can substitute in many different types of cocktails. But Black Seal is very versatile, and Bermudians use it for everything down here. When we begin teething as babies, it's tradition to get a little rum on the gums, so I can, we're all born with a thirst for it here on the island, that's for sure.
Now, I want to ask Heidi, have you had a dark and stormy before today?
I have never had a dark and stormy before today. If I did, it was so dark and stormy, I don't remember it.
What's your experience? You said you didn't drink before you came. Where are you from originally?
Oh, you know what? I'm from all over. They didn't really know what to do with me as a kid, but I am from the Central Coast of California. So I'm a Cali girl, born and raised, and I've been in LA since I was 17. But I'm from the Central Coast of California, so pretty much any city up and down there. San Luis Obispo, Morro Bay, Orchid, Santa Maria, yeah.
So would you say you're a rum neophyte? You're not a seasoned rum drinker.
You know what? It actually came to my attention that they're like, I like alcohol, but I am definitely a novice in all of the history and intensity behind. I just know the show, which is the drink. I just know this part. But everything that you were talking about, that is all new knowledge to me. And when I think about it, alcohol must be tricky to get right because of all the red tape around making everything perfect. So yeah, I'm a bit of a novice. I did hear, and maybe you can verify this with me, I did hear that if you get rum up to like 100 proof, it can also serve as hand sanitizer. Is that true? No.
I think anything at 100 proof could probably, go. I would not recommend rubbing your hands with any 100 proof spirit, but
well, I would probably drink that, but
yeah, alcohol. Yeah, you could. Right, Andrew? Although Andrew's going, no, we don't want to do this with our rum. Although, Hey, people want to buy a bottle and use it as hand sanitizer. It's expensive hand sanitizer. I don't know that I'd go that route. I mean, you could probably get some Purex a little cheaper, but you know.
So our Black Seal rum, we actually make it in several different proofs. Our traditional bottle strength is 80 proof, therefore 40% alcohol. And we also make overproof Black Seal rum, which is 151 proof, therefore 75.5% alcohol. Okay, so that is as hot as it gets. It's so flammable that the FAA decided it was too flammable to allow passengers on commercial aircraft with liters of 151 proof rum. So we had to develop a lower proof just for travel retail. And so the Goslings wrote a letter to the FAA and said, okay, we get it. We can no longer sell 151. What's the strongest we can sell? And they responded with 140 proof. So we also make 140 proof in Black Seal rum, which I nicknamed FAA proof. So that's available in travel retail. But the 151 is a popular item here in Bermuda, not only for sanitizing your hands, but for making one of our other popular cocktails, rum swizzle, which is island-wide. Every bar and restaurant you go into, they'll serve you a dark and stormy or their rum swizzle.
Tell us about the rum swizzle.
So the dark and stormy is one preparation. As you can see, the ginger beer, the Black Seal, and then we actually squeeze a lime in it here on the island. So there's only one way. Every bar you go to and order dark and stormy, you're going to get that. The rum swizzle, on the other hand, every bartender has their proprietary recipe that they guard with their life. And if they leave that bar, they'll take that recipe with them. And so swizzle is always a blend of our Black Seal rum, as well as another rum that we produce called Goslings Gold Seal rum. Fruit juice, syrup, and bitters. It's usually batched in very large quantities and left to rest for a week or so, and they serve it at restaurants. And Bermudians also make their own rum swizzle. So it's not just professional bartenders. The locals take a lot of pride in making rum swizzle, and they'll make it before public holidays and decanter it in bottles and bring it to their friends or family house as gifts and things like that. So it's a very, very popular cocktail here in Bermuda.
I'm curious, Andrew, on an island like Bermuda that is so dependent upon tourism, what's going on there now? Like how are things there these days?
Well, I think we're doing really good right now because, you know, we're surrounded by water, right? So we've got a natural barrier there, and the government closed our airport for a month and a bit, but the airport has been reopened, so we've got a few flights coming in a day. And we've been doing pretty well managing that. And some of our hotels are closing, remodeling, and things like that. So all the things are starting to get really positive here in Bermuda. But tourism is a huge part of our island economy, and so is international business. So we have a lot of exempted companies based here in Bermuda, and a lot of their executives would travel in here as well. So we can see the tourism numbers starting to build back up. But we're fortunate, you know, Goslings is not just a brand that the tourists drink when they arrive here on the island. It's a brand that locals love, and Bermudians are our best ambassadors. Whenever they travel, they pick it up at duty free and they share it with their friends all over the world. So, you know, our rum sales in Bermuda have still been doing really well.
Have you been to Bermuda, Heidi?
I don't think I've been to Bermuda. No. Wait, did I go one time? Did I go one time when I was younger? I may have gone when I was really younger. No, I haven't.
By the way, you're not going to be working for the Bermuda Tourism Office. Did I go there? I don't remember. Now I remember being there. Yeah, no. See me, I'd be like, oh, I've never been, but I want to go.
The Beach Boys really ruined it for us with that song, you know, Bermuda.
Kokomo?
So everyone always assumes we're way down in the West Indies, but the closest point of land to Bermuda is Cape Hatteras, North Carolina. So we're out in the middle of the Atlantic. We're further north than Florida, okay? We're right out there in the middle. So we're the tip of the Bermuda Triangle, which is Bermuda, Miami, Puerto Rico. Weird stuff goes on in the triangle.
Can we even go to Bermuda right now? Can people from the States go there?
Yeah, the airport is open. We got about...
No, I meant, are we allowed to come? Because
No.
Effed up the coronavirus so bad. We are actually allowed to go there? Okay. Absolutely. You're one of the few places that we're allowed to go to.
Exactly.
Yeah. But so go to Bermuda, get a dark and stormy.
I was going to say, well, then maybe I will go to Bermuda, and then I will become part of the tourist ambassador after I get a refresh.
Oh, look at you now. The gauntlet has been thrown down, Heidi. All right.
Don't
But
tell
now
me
we
what
have
I can't do. Now
direct flights
I know
coming
that I
out of
can.
Atlanta, New York, and then we normally have flights out of Philadelphia, Miami, Toronto, London. So yeah, definitely fly here from America.
We got a question from Chris Maxwell. Heidi, Chris checked out your Instagram. Said, "What's your fascination with milk?"
I think I know what photo he's talking about. I was in a music video. I don't have a fascination with milk. I was on a job.
Okay.
They pay talent to do things with things. So on that music video, I was asked to be a funny person among serious dancers. Clearly, that's a theme in my life. And I did pour a glass of milk on me.
On yourself.
I was clothed. I want to be clear. There was clothing. So I don't have a fascination with milk.
You have a fascination with money for being in the music video.
I have a work ethic that
Yes.
I am very much a working class girl. So and actually that video was cast and directed by a good friend of mine. And so it was really kind of would you do this for us? And I'm always down to help a friend. So that's how the milk happened. But thanks for bringing it up.
Andrew got a question from Scotty Baltimore. Wants to know, can you talk a little bit about the process of making Goslings Rum? So I guess they mean the.
Absolutely.
What are you using? Are you making it from molasses, sugar cane? What are we doing?
So all the rums that we blend are molasses-based rums. They obviously make rums from sugarcane juice, and they make rum from sugarcane syrup as well. But the majority, and especially the brands you find in the U.S., are all molasses-based. In Bermuda, the Goslings, when they arrived in 1806, they came across one big challenge, and it's the geography of the island. We're 21 square miles inhabited now by, as I mentioned earlier, 60,000 people. There's not a lot of land in Bermuda, right? So the Goslings knew they couldn't grow the sugarcane there to produce rum. So very similar to the British Navy, the Goslings began sourcing rums from all over the West Indies, shipping them to Bermuda, experimenting with blending and aging the rum to create their own style. So that's essentially what they've been doing for, close to 200 years now. So we source rums from all over the West Indies, and we blend and age them here in Bermuda. So we get rums from all over the place and assemble them here. But every drop of rum is blended by a very small team of professionals here on the island.
Okay. And Heidi, so because you had mentioned earlier that what we were saying seemed to be in an alien language. So what we're doing when you're any spirit in the world, be rum, vodka, whiskey, whatever it is, you're taking a starch, in this case, molasses. But in the case, it could be corn, it could be wheat, it could be potatoes. You're taking that starch, you're fermenting it, which means you're putting it in. You put some water in there. You're putting some yeast in there, and what the yeast does is convert the sugar in that starch into alcohol. Okay, right. And once that's happening, so now you picture this bubbling cauldron of stuff, and here it is. The yeast is in there, and it's converting the sugars into alcohol, and then you put it into a still, could be a pot still, and you're going to boil it, and alcohol boils at a slightly lower temperature than water does, and that's where they go. So what happens is that alcohol boils and evaporates and goes up here, and there's a tube, and it goes over. And then they cool it, and it gets collected on the other side as pure alcohol. That make sense? I
mean, I was just going to say, you said this wasn't going to be like science class, but if they would have taught me science class like this, then I might have paid attention. So right. I'm not saying, I only have a high school education, so I'm not saying that, we need rum in high schools, but, when you get to college, if you would have explained science with some Goslings rum, maybe everybody would have paid attention.
The kids would have been like, wait, I'm down with this. Now, what are we doing now? So we're just we're boiling this. The kids are like, so we're boiling this liquid, and if we boil it to this temperature right here, the stuff that's going to evaporate and go up is going to be booze.
Right.
All right, I get it. Yeah, and so that's what's happening. That's how you make alcohol, and and then you put it in a barrel, and that's where. So every distillate that comes out is clear. Looks like water. It's clear, right? They don't come out brown. Where that coloring is coming from is it goes into the wood, and it absorbs all that woody goodness, including the color. So the longer it's in the wood, the darker any spirit's going to be. So there we go, alcohol lesson 101. And I'm also going to make myself another one of these drinks here. Should we move on to let me check here. I got a lot of things going on. I got to make drinks. I got to check, see if there's comments. All right, we got this. We're good.
Commercial break. Would you like me to hold while you?
Hey, can you help me, Heidi? Can you help me out here? All right, so I have my Goslings ginger beer. Do you sell a lot of this proprietary ginger beer, Andrew?
It's incredible. You know, the ginger beer was first introduced in 2009. Malcolm Gosling developed the recipe with Polar Beverages, which is a family-owned company in Worcester, Massachusetts. And they launched it in 2009 as the most successful product launch ever. And now the ginger beer is sold all over the world. And it's
This is going to be a dumb question. I know you're going to say, of course, you got to get this one, but you could do it with any ginger beer, right? You don't. I know it has to be made with Gosling's Black Seal, be called Dark and Stormy, but you can do it with any ginger beer, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the trademark dates back to June 9th, 1980. And at that point, Gosling's was not manufacturing ginger beer at all. There were several brands of ginger beer available on the island. But the challenge was when Gosling's began exporting and promoting the Dark and Stormy, it was really hard to get ginger beer. So that's why Malcolm wanted to create ginger beer to complement the rum. And then we took it a step further in 2011, and we do a ready-to-drink Dark and Stormy in a convenient slim can here. I call it our mobile device. So this is designed to take out on the boat, out on the golf course, you know, anywhere you don't want to take rum, ginger beer, glass, ice, limes. You've got the ready-to-drink version right here. So this is available.
When are we flying to Bermuda to go on the boat and the golf course? I think Andrew's living his best life, and I think we need to get there.
Yeah, I would like just who I contacted, the tourism office, all that type of stuff. And also, is it a coincidence that you had a ginger, like a redhead on for the ginger beer? Do y'all coordinate this, or?
I coordinate that, Heidi. Yeah.
You're like, I need a ginger girl for this ginger beer, even though I prefer to be called a redhead. You can't call a ginger unless you're a fellow ginger. FYI.
Is that the etiquette? Okay.
Oh, that's the etiquette from my perspective. Like, I don't like when people
but
call
it
me.
makes sense to me. Yeah.
It's like,
well, I might be dark in the curtains, but the drapes are ginger for me.
Okay.
So can I jump in?
We are a Dark and Stormy. I've got the ginger.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious.
We are a Dark and Stormy.
I love it.
This is where we at? Oh yeah, we're 45 minutes. This is usually the part where things fall apart, where we start saying inappropriate things, and it's perfect. So before that happens, we want to try. So we talked about let's talk a little bit about this Gosling's Family Reserve Old Rum, which is what I'm making my perfect storm with. Tell us a little bit about this one, Andrew.
Okay, so Old Rum is a very special product to the Gosling's family. Originally, when Gosling's first began producing rum in Bermuda, it was only sold on draft. No one manufactures anything here. So glass bottles, as you could imagine, were a very scarce commodity. So you would actually go into the shop with your own bottle, and they would fill it up right out of the barrel that was aging the rum. So the rum was sold on draft. After World War I, they began to recycle old champagne bottles, very similar to this, which they reclaimed from their number one clients in Bermuda, the British Navy. So the British Navy was having a great time here on the island. And the Goslings took the old champagne bottles back to their shop, which was now located in the city of Hamilton. They said they cleaned them up and then began bottling the rum in the once used champagne bottles, corking it and using the black wax to seal the cork. So originally the rum was just called Old Rum. Goslings were not exactly marketing geniuses, okay? They aged a rum in a barrel for a long time and called it Old Rum. But as I mentioned, locals are big on nicknames. So they would go to the shop, and instead of asking for old rum, they would ask for the rum with the black seal, referring to the wax seal on the top of the bottle. So that's where the name Black Seal came from. But this old rum was first introduced to Bermuda in 2003. There was a gentleman by the name of Teddy Gosling. He was one of the 6th generation of the Gosling family, and he was the engineer of the family and set up this facility that I'm standing in here today. So he had a tradition. Whenever he bottled Black Seal rum, he would take a bottle off of the line and pour it in a barrel he had stashed in the corner of the warehouse. He would then, once in a while, decanter a bottle out of that barrel, share it with his brothers, who all agreed that the Black Seal aging in the barrel a little longer had improved the character of the rum. So in the early 80s, instead of bottling all the Black Seal they blended, they took some, put it back into barrels at 120 proof, and continued to age it. The result was in 2003, they introduced the Family Reserve Old Rum. So we only bottle this rum once a year. Each bottle's hand labeled, hand numbered, and hand dipped in wax. So it's a very special product, as I mentioned earlier, that Bermudians save for very special occasions. You would normally enjoy it after a meal on its own with a cube of ice. It's also incredible stirred as an old fashioned or even a Manhattan. Actually, the Manhattan's probably my favorite cocktail with the old rum, a little vermouth and bitters. Absolutely delicious. So this is based on the same blend as the flagship Black Seal rum. So Black Seal is actually blended from 3 different distillates. The youngest ages for 3 years in the barrel and the oldest for 6. So it's what we describe as a very youthful rum. So you can mix it with ginger beer, mix it in a rum cake or flambe bananas with it or whatever. So once it's bottled for Goslings Family Reserve Old Rum, the age is about 16 to 20 years in the barrel. So you get a lot more of the oak character, and the result is something that resembles a really well-aged whiskey or a good brandy.
I got to tell you though, this Perfect Storm, because I mean I've had a bunch of dark and stormies in my life. This Perfect Storm is really good with the aged rum. I think it's absolutely delicious. I was wondering, Heidi, have you tried this? Have you tried this one neat?
This one. I can do that right now.
Yeah, we want to get your tasting notes on this. Yeah.
Well, that I don't know no tasting notes, right?
Well, I mean, here's what I want you to do. This is what I want you to do. Can I give you, we're going to walk through this a little bit. Here's what I want you to do. I'm going to take this and we're going to do this together. We're in this together, me and you. Here we go. And Andrew's here too. All right. So we're going to take a little bit of this and we're going to swirl it around. We're going to agitate it a little bit in the glass. Let's get a little bit of this going on. And then we're going to nose it. And now by nose it, we're not going to stick our nose in the glass because that's going to burn your nostrils out. What you want to do is kind of get it right up here and keep your mouth open. Breathe the whole thing in like this. And I want you to clear your mind of, don't think about, am I being an expert? Just what are you smelling? What do you, the first thing that comes to mind, just say it.
I mean, I was going to say peas. Can you smell like peas?
Peas? Peace?
No.
Peace in the world?
Peas. Like I'm chill. Like I smell chillness.
All right. Yeah. That's great. That's a great nose. I smell peace on the nose. All right.
I like body though, it is chill. Listen, rum is relaxed, it's fun.
I'm a feeling girl. So like if this is a multiple choice answer, you're gonna have to tell me oak, cherry, because I ain't gonna know unless you give me some sort of lead.
It's evoking a feeling of serenity in you. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So now what we're gonna do is this. We're gonna take a tiny little sip, just a tiny bit, just swirl it around your mouth, just coat your palate. Just do, get it going. All right, now you got that. Now take a little bit of a bigger sip.
Okay.
And chew it up a little. Right? And now let it settle. What are you getting?
I mean, I got like some tingles.
Got the tingles?
It's tingling.
So on the nose is peace, and on the palate you've got tingles.
Yeah.
Andrew, I think you have your new tasting notes person here. 'Cause I would buy that. If somebody said I get peace on the nose and tingles on the palate, I'm buying that shit, man. I'm in. Yeah.
I mean, it's all about the five senses, right? You know?
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm sure that is not at all what you were looking for. And I'm sure that, like, your commenters are going to be like, this girl don't know nothing. Get her off the podcast. Get her off the streaming. She don't know the notes. But I know the feeling. And it's peaceful and it's tingly.
Yeah. I think it's amazing. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I'm getting some banana on it. I get some banana notes. I got a little bit of cotton candy too, man. There's a little sweetness that I got there on the right then, and then on the back end, I'm getting a little spice, which I like a lot.
Yeah, that's the tingle I'm talking about. Is that spice? I was gonna say spice, but like tingle felt more like.
You didn't want to show me up. That's why.
Please.
I was gonna say it, but I left that one for you, Dan. You're so generous. This is why she's done so well, because as a comedian, you have to give and take. You got to be generous up there. You got to, let them. I bring something. You bring something. Mm-hmm. Andrew, I'm not sure what Andrew's bringing yet. I don't know.
Andrew bringing a bottle.
Yeah.
Hey, we got comments coming in here. We got questions and comments. Robert Everett Brewington wants to address the elephant in the room. Is Ryan Gosling related to this family?
So, Ryan Gosling used to live in Bermuda, but we sent him to Hollywood for a much better life. He was way too handsome for the island. Yeah. We couldn't contain his good looks.
But you mentioned Canada, and I think Malcolm went to school in Canada. Is there any family connection?
Do you know what? I'm sure if you look back to the family roots in England, there definitely would be a connection there. But yeah, Malcolm did go to high school in Canada, then university in Boston. But yeah, no, Ryan, like once in a while he'll put out a little funny tweet about Goslings Rum, but
Has he been there?
Not to my knowledge. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No, right. So I think the answer there is no. All right. The next one is Wayne Stelmach wants to know, is the canned Dark and Stormy sold in the States?
Yes, it is. Yeah. We actually can this in Indiana, and it's distributed all throughout America. One of my favorite things on this can is, we had a lot of back and forth with the label approval in America, but it says right here, rum and ginger beer, Bermuda's national cocktail, product of USA. I just think that's hilarious. But it's canned and available all over America. We also have distribution in Europe and England as well with the Dark and Stormy ready to drink.
Okay. I want to remind everybody the contest giveaway tonight, 3 best movies featuring bugs, insects, and then the other one is the best one-liners about Mike Pence having a fly on his head last night. You've got exactly 5 minutes to get that in. 5 minutes, and we're closing it off, and then we're going to give it away. We have another another rum to try right now, and this is the Goslings Papa Seal. Andrew, tell us about this one. This is special. This is a special spirit here, right?
Oh, it is so special. So Malcolm Gosling, as I mentioned, he's the 7th generation president and CEO of Goslings International. His son, the 8th generation, is also Malcolm Gosling. So Malcolm's the 8th generation. All of his friends started referring to his father as Papa Seal, because otherwise, Malcolm, it gets all confusing, right? So they nicknamed him, back to that again, Papa Seal. So there was always kind of this thing that, we're going to create a rum called Papa Seal, and Malcolm said it's the father of all rums. And, old rum is something special. It's distributed all over the world. We vat many barrels together to make this blend every year. The Papa Seal rum is bottled 1 barrel at a time. So it's all done right in this facility that I'm standing here. The labels are applied by hand, and the medallion, everything. It's really a work of art here, the Papa Seal rum. And it's a very different style of rum compared to Gosling's Family Reserve Old Rum. This rum I like to describe as very robust and rich and flavorful. The Papa Seal is elegant and complex and reminiscent of a really good cognac. You know, this is quite a special spirit here, the Goslings Papasio. So this is actually from barrel 25 right here that I'm holding in my hands, and I believe you guys have samples from that same barrel as well. Yeah,
I do. So we're gonna do the same thing here, Heidi. We're gonna nose this motherfucker. Oh,
Okay, well,
Emma.
It's
That was
all
her.
good.
She made me curse. I'm just saying. So we're gonna nose this. So right. Oh man. So right
Wait,
on that
I'm not
note.
even, you guys.
Oh, that was the previous one.
Yeah, y'all. Okay. I mean,
right.
okay, here we go. I'm gonna nose it.
Oh my. This is my favorite thing. My favorite thing when I haven't had a spirit before that's is when you get it on the nose, because it just primes, it just gets you ready. You know, you're like, oh man, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
The
money.
aromatics, you know, it's quite floral even on this Papasio compared to the old rum.
It is very floral, and I'm getting toffee right there, right off the top of that. There is a little bit of that. There's a little bit of that wood. There's a little bit of that, oak coming in there as well. But man,
I definitely do think that this. Sorry to cut you off. Should I let
what
you continue?
What feeling are you having?
Feeling. So I totally agree with the flowers, because when you do it when you a girl and you do a good job, you get a bouquet of flowers. This feels like you just made us some money. Here's your bouquet of flowers. Like, nice job. Or like you just made some money. This feels like a celebration. Like, it's like, whoo, we did that. That's what it feels like.
So this is a bottle that Bermudians celebrate when they can get their hands on it. So the first time we bottled Papasio rum was in 2018, and it was only 12 barrels in total. 11 of those 12
so
barrels.
How many bottles would that be?
Well, see, it all depends on the barrel itself, right? Because
what are you going to get, about 50 bottles a barrel?
No, a little bit more than that for Papasio rum, because it's actually a blend of aged rums that is rested in a single barrel for 2 years here in Bermuda. So it's a little more volume than if the barrel was aging there for 20 years, because the majority of the rum would have evaporated if it ages for that long. So we get close to 200 bottles out of a barrel, but that's also because of the proof. When you age the rum in the barrel, it's at 120 to 140 proof, depending on the mark that we're aging. And then you're going to bring it down to bottle strength. With the old rum, it's 80 proof. With the Papasio, it is 83.
Okay.
So a little bit stronger than the old rum, even though I think it's a little more elegant and something that, we really celebrate here in Bermuda. When we introduced the 2019 bottling last year, there was literally a line down the block of people waiting to come into the shop and get the barrel like nothing I've ever seen here on the island. Like they were waiting for the next iPhone to release or something. So
Heidi's liking this one. I'm seeing it.
Here in Bermuda.
I'll tell you right now, is out of my tax bracket. So thank you so much for allowing me to be. I appreciate your hospitality. I can tell you right now, this is good.
Yeah, it's delicious. It's really special.
Andrew, can I ask you a question? Because I'm trying to imagine your life on Bermuda right now.
Yeah.
How close do you live to the beach?
Everywhere in Bermuda is 5 minutes from the beach.
Nice.
Okay.
Everywhere. Yeah, and I actually live right in the city, so I'm only 10 minutes from the facility that I'm standing in right near in Hamilton. But literally, the whole south shore of the island is littered with pink sand beaches. So, you're never far from the beach here in Bermuda.
No, I live about a mile from the beach in Venice, California. I just realized I probably haven't been to the beach in about 8 months. How often do you go to the beach, living where you live?
It all depends. I would say for me, probably every couple of weeks. Some people are a little more frequent beachgoers. I've got a little 24-foot boat, so I like getting out on the water, and I'll go out on the boat once a week and enjoy the island from the water. But the beach is very popular for the majority of locals, and certainly the visitors that come to the island. That's the first thing they want to do: go to the beach, grab a 4-pack of dark and stormies and put your toes in the sand and enjoy the island.
Heidi, how close do you live to the beach?
I am in the heart of downtown LA, but I grew up next to the coast. So the beach is always in my heart. And anytime, since I'm a feeling girl, anytime I need to clear my mind, it's go to the beach.
Yeah.
So you are both very lucky. You are closer to the beach right now, but I was definitely close to the beach growing up. And there's something special about the beach.
There really is. There really is. All right, now it's time to get to our contest, people here. Let's see what we got. Boy, there's a lot of it. All right. Okay. So we'll go. What do you guys want to give away first? You want to give away the bottle of rum, or you want to give away the Flaviar membership?
Good question. Maybe we could do the Flaviar membership first. Save the old rum for last.
All right, we'll do the Flaviar membership, and we'll do that with the insects from the movies. So here we go. I'm going to throw out a few. We got Nikki Blandis says the Fly with Jeff Goldblum, Them, and Arachnophobia. That's pretty good, right? On the insect front. Now, Mike Christie says Jiminy Cricket. Oh, come on, Mike. Are you tugging at my heartstrings? Are you Jiminy Cricket, of course, from Pinocchio. And the bee from the Bee movie was Jerry Seinfeld. And Flick from A Bug's Life. Dave Foley. I think Dave Foley was Kids in the Hall. Mike Christie, you've rocketed to the lead, I believe, right? Are you guys on board with this one?
Yeah.
Britt Frapp. This can't be a real name. If this is your real name, Britt Frapp, you win already. Because if your name's Britt Frapp, Ant-Man, the Tick, and the Bee from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. All right? Heidi, you on board on any of this stuff?
I mean, I love some Jeff Goldblum. I think I like the first round.
Okay.
All
right, let's see. We got more.
I don't know if we have any hard rules. So it's like.
No, there's no rules.
No rules.
Like this, for instance, I have this stuff I don't even know. Aragog. I don't know what Aragog is. Charlotte and Flick. So it's Harry Potter is Aragog. Charlotte's Web. Oh, Charlotte's Web. That's who I forgot about Charlotte's Web. That's a good one. All right. Kelly Crawford Keys. And then Flick is A Bug's Life. Candle Power says Jiminy Cricket, Flick, and Charlotte from Charlotte's Web. Bob Grafeus said, I don't even know what this is. Oh, he's talking about booze brands. No, you can't pander. No pandering.
People be pandering.
He's trying to pander. Ken Katz. Creepshow cockroaches in the segment with the hygiene obsessed old guy, Them, classic giant ant movie, and Starship Troopers.
I love Starship Troopers. One of my favorites. Oh, sorry. I heartfelt reaction. Sorry if that threw off the game.
No. Patty McDimes, the worms from Tremors, and the aliens from Starship Troopers. Patty, great thing, but we said three.
Wait, I was hoping someone would say Tremors. I was really hoping someone would say Tremors because I was like, does that count as like a bug? But I remember watching Tremors like over and over and over again, so it was in my heart.
Yeah.
All right, so we're giving away.
Yeah.
Based on this, we're gonna give. What do we say we're giving away first, Andrew? We're giving away the flavor. All right. So this one, I think. What do we, guys? I mean, I know that. Heidi went nuts for Starship Troopers.
I did, and Tremors, and Arachnophobia also. But these are all like the ones that I went for were like, I guess they're kind of like, what's the word? Kitschy or something like that. Like they're kind of like out there.
Esoteric.
I don't know that word, sir, but I will look it up afterwards.
All right, so let's do this. Ken Katz is the Creepshow cockroaches, which I remember Creepshow was so long ago, but I love cockroaches. Them, I remember Them was a great old classic movie, and Starship Troopers. So we got Ken Katz And then I think the other one that we all liked was, Charlotte's Web. Oh, yeah. Jiminy Cricket, Flick, and Charlotte from Charlotte's Web.
Charlotte Web.
So
Good.
we're gonna let you do this one, Heidi. Is Starship Troopers enough to?
I mean, that's one of my favorite movies, so you all got me with Starship Troopers.
So it is written, so it is done. Ken Katz, you have won a Flaviar membership. Congratulations. You're one of us now. You're a Flaviar member. Give it up for Ken. Okay. I'm gonna drink to Ken. I'm gonna have some of my perfect storm.
I feel bad we left Charlotte's Web behind, though.
You know what, Charlotte? We love you. But she died anyway. She's not around anymore. So, did I give it away? Did I give away the end? Damn it. Okay. So now we're going to one-liners, and this is what are we giving here? I forget. We got a bottle of Andrew. What are we giving away?
Old rum. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this one right here, the old rum. Giving that away. All right. So here we go. These are one-liners about Mike Pence having a fly on his head. All right. Rob Gleason says, "I sent the fly," and it was accompanied by a picture of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. That was a funny one. I did see that one. Nikki Blandis says, "The fly is Mike Pence's only black friend." Now that's funny. That's a funny one.
Sad.
Candle Power says, "You know what they say flies are attracted to?" Also good. Also good. Chris Maxwell says, "Pence, pretty fly for a white guy." All right. That's all right. Yeah. Robert Everett Brewington says, "This was the first time women have ever looked at Mike Pence's fly." Okay. Ken Katz. Ken already won. Ken, you can't win twice. Come on. Ken. Christopher Blade. Pence changed his schedule on the fly. That's pretty funny. Chris Maxwell, what's worse than a fly on your head? A Cheeto in your ear. All right. And Daniel Rodriguez said, what did Daniel say? "I hope you like bugs because I'll be bugging you all night." Oh, come on. I'm going to go, guys, I'm going to throw out mine is Nikki Blandis with "The fly is Mike Pence's only black friend." What do you think?
That one's pretty good. That one, or flies are attracted to.
Yeah.
I guess I would say. Oh, my thing is acting up. I would say RBG. The RBG one is the one that made me laugh the most.
All right. Well, then, you know what? We're going to give it to you. We're going to let you pick the winners tonight. You
should have for sure told me that I was the one picking the winners because that's a lot of pressure. Because that means that only 2 people gonna like me and everybody else gonna hate me. But that's fine. I'm used to that. So
Nikki Blandis does not like you because I was gonna go Nikki, but it looks like Rob Gleason with "I Sent the Fly." Rob Gleason wins the bottle of rum. Congratulations, Rob.
Heidi, you look confused.
What's that?
I see you look confused there. You're like, oh.
Well, I was just like, oh my gosh, I have to pick the winner. That's so much pressure. Like I normally am really good at picking losers because that's where I come from. So picking winners is like really out of my league.
Good job with that. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I'm a girl who walks up to a Vegas table and it completely cools. So like with the pressure to pick a winner is like intense. But thank
done it.
That have the rum to get me through it.
Cheers to that.
Hey, I want to tell everybody we got another show next week, Thursday, October 25th. We'll be drinking Westward whiskey. I don't know who the guest is. I don't know. What do you want me to do? I'm just the host. I want to thank our guests tonight, Andrew Holmes, my man.
You got
you are a font of knowledge, man. You are just spilling out rum knowledge. And where can people find you on the social medias?
My Instagram handle at 441BDA. 441 is our area code here in Bermuda, and BDA is our airport code. And so you can find me on Instagram there, but I'm all over at Goslings Rum, and that's the best place to find me. Drinking rum on Instagram.
Drinking rum on it, and we're glad to have gotten to do it with you. And then Heidi Heaslet, the funny dance show on E. I hope it gets another season. I do, because I like funny dancing. And Heidi, where does everybody find you on the social media?
I am the Redhead Heidi on social media. So pretty much how you remember me, the Redhead Heidi. That's where I am at. And you can find me there. And I look super cute. I put all my best photos up.
See, I do the opposite. I put my shittiest photos up on Instagram. I'm
that is very brave of you, sir.
Well, then when people meet me, they're impressed. They're like, "Wow, I thought you were."
I like to let people get disappointed when they meet me, but it actually, what? I'm better in person, but my photos is cute.
Well, Heidi, we loved having you on, and love to have you back on the show anytime.
Next time, let me pick the losers and you pick the winner.
Let me put on my fancy jacket. I did bring a fancy jacket tonight because I wanted to be super Bermuda.
A blazer.
Look at this, right? Little linen blazer.
Looking very dapper there, Dan. Yeah.
Right? This is Bermuda.
Yeah, man.
Bermuda, Bahama, who my pretty mama. I don't know.
Baby, why don't we go to Oklahoma?
We're getting sued for singing this song. We can only sing 15 seconds of it. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, you're right. No, you're right. My bad, bro.
Everybody out there, thank you as always for joining us here on the NightCap Live. I'm Dan Dunn on behalf of Heidi.
He's lit. Like he's on fire. He's lit.
I want to say Heislet so bad, though. You spell it Heislet.
You know what? I didn't spell it. Somebody else did. And my dad said it sounds like that, but we don't really talk much. So if it's changed, he'll have to update me. But as far as I know, it's he's lit.
All right. Fine. Heidi Heaslet and Andrew Holmes and everybody at Flaviar. I'm Dan Dunn. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next Thursday.